everyone. I'm Jason Shaw from Vision Aid Technologies. For those of you who don't know Vision Aid Technologies, we're a family business based over at Spalding in Lincolnshire, and we sell technology to help people who have a visual impairment. We also have some of our technology is also useful for people who have dyslexia and other issues with reading. But today I'm here joined by Ian from OrCam. Hi, Ian.
Hey, Jason. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. And Vision Aid itself, we deal with lots of different companies. We're not tied to any manufacturers, but one of the manufacturers that we do deal a lot with is OrCam. It's a great company who manufacture probably the world's smallest OCR reading devices. Some of you will be familiar with some of the technology that OrCam do. I'll just lift one up here. It's a small reading camera that fits on the side of a pair of glasses. Brilliant device. So when you're out and about, you can either fit it on your own glasses, so I would fit it on these ones, or it does come with a pair of frames, so that then when you're out and about, you can literally either tap the side of it or point at what you want it to read, and it will read out loud straight into your ear. We're here today to look at the new product from OrCam, which is the new OrCam Read. So it's the same technology, but it's actually built into a device, which is a pen-sized device, so you hold it like a pen, and whatever you point it at, it'll photograph it, and then almost instantly it will read it straight back out loud to you. So it's great for people with any visual impairment, anyone with dyslexia, and anyone with reading difficulties. So join us as well today. We've got Chloe Tia. Hi, Chloe.
Hi.
She's an award-winning blogger on sort of different things to do with disability, and we thought this is a new product. What we'll do, we'll send one over to Chloe and see what she thinks about it. So this is a point there. So fingers crossed she likes it. It's a great new product. But can you just let us know a little bit about yourself, Chloe, first of all? So over to you.
Yeah, so I'm 22 years old and I've been writing a blog for about 7 years. This started around my disability of having cerebral palsy, and later moved on to the fact that I acquired a visual impairment. So I aim to just write about my own experiences, and especially with a focus on education and employment.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, and you actually know my daughter, don't you? Well, not you know her because she's in one of your groups, isn't she? Because my daughter has cerebral palsy too. So
yeah, so we know each other like through Instagram, I think. Like we just follow each other. Yeah.
So when I said I've been in touch with Chloe, she said, "Oh, I know Chloe," which was quite a surprise because there was no link there previously. I would just happened to mention your name and she knew you, so I was quite surprised. We sent it you hopefully just so that we'll get some good, good and bad feedback from it if there is any bad feedback or sort of constructive criticism, I suppose, because anything that good or bad that can help OrCam develop products, they're very good at listening to us and listening to people like yourself. So if you have got any sort of suggestions, it'd be great. So how have you been getting on with it, Chloe?
Yeah, so far it's been really good. Even from taking it out of the box, it was extremely light and small and just very easy to use actually. So it didn't matter that it was a completely new product. I could just pick it up and start using it, which was great.
And compared to, because when we were talking before, you said you used you already use things like electronic magnifiers and things like that. How does it compare? Is it easier than that to use?
I find it just quicker and smoother than using digital magnifiers. Like, I don't know whether that's because of my own mobility or what, but I just know that it's more instant. It's probably more accurate, and it's just, rather than trying to adjust the contrast or the level of magnification, I can just find out what it says really quickly.
This is nice and quick because you just do it and you can get up to a whole A4 page in one go.
Yeah, definitely. Like if I'm going back to uni days when I spent however long with a magnifier going along a textbook, that the OrCam Read was definitely needed then.
Was it?
Would have saved many hours. I work from home anyway, so in that respect, nothing has changed. I'm still doing my job, even if I am busier in lockdown.
Yeah.
It's more so like going out and about that has changed for me. So I live in Leeds. I've got my best friend in Chesterfield and my boyfriend in London. So my weekends were normally spent on a train somewhere between those places.
Yeah.
And that was like the bit of independence I had.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that I've missed, really, like going and seeing people on a weekend.
I presume then with the OrCam Read itself, you've probably only just been, you've obviously been only limited to trying it around things around the house. So it'd be quite nice once lockdown's finished. You go shopping and everything with it, try it on some labels and shops and wherever
Well,
you
yeah,
might go.
exactly. Like that's the things initially that I was like, that would be great for, whether that's train tickets, menus, when you're shopping for different sizes. You know, that's normally just something I ask the people I'm with. So, you know, would give me that level of independence.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah. It's good on menus. I normally demonstrate the OrCam technology on menus because it's the kind of thing that people need to read when they're out about. It just makes you hungry while you demonstrate it. But it's good. So when you get out and about, you can read signs with it because it doesn't only read off paperwork. I don't know if you've tried it. It'll read off your mobile phone screen. It'll read signage. It just depends on the size of the print, really. I've pointed it if Morrison's is on the other side of the road and you point at it, to read the sign Morrison's because it's huge. So it's really dependent on the size of the print. It's so fast and accurate. How have you found the laser on it? Can you see the laser on it? Because not everyone can.
I can't see it if it's just like the point, but if it's the
frame.
square, the frame, I can kind of like see where that is to get it in the right place. But obviously, if I know where the item is, it is still quite easy to kind of
it's
get
not
the
that
information.
It's not that fussy, is it? You don't have to be accurate with it. You could just point it and off it goes. Because some people get sort of stuck on that. They think, well, if I'm totally blind, I probably won't be able to use it. But actually, the laser is really more of a guide. You don't really have to be able to see the laser for it to work. You just sort of judge. The closer you have the OrCam Read to a document, the less it reads, and the further you draw it back, obviously, the more it can capture. So once people get used to that, it's really quite quick. So I've got a couple of customers now who are totally blind, and they love it, especially because all the buttons are nice and tactile on it as well.
Yeah.
So, right, so I'm just going to put you over to Ian now because I'm sure he's waiting to ask something, and we've kept him out of it so far. Sorry, Ian.
Chloe, obviously, you use other types of assistive devices, but how do you feel that the OrCam Read compares to them?
I think the main thing is the speed and accuracy. You know, using things like Microsoft and their applications, they do similar things, like taking a picture and reading it, but it's a lot slower. And I just find that the OrCam Read is just so convenient. You know, it's probably easier to use the OrCam Read to read something than it would be for me to give that thing to someone else to read. You know,
and on the voice,
like that.
On the voice, you know, we have two voices on there with a male and a female. You know, how do you feel the speech and with the voice as compared to other assistive devices that you've heard?
Yeah, I find it really clear, and it's, you know, I use JAWS on my work computer, so the screen reader, and you know, I find the OrCam Read less robotic, to be honest, than
it's quite
JAWS.
a nice voice, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
when
mean,
you get used to that.
Yeah, I mean,
know,
I use both. I use both JAWS and NVDA, and you know the voices are completely different. You know, and then of course, obviously, when you jump into OrCam, it's more human, it's more personalised, and I find that a lot comforting, especially when I'm looking for content on the move. You know, I listened with interest. You were saying that you spent a lot of time at weekends travelling back and forth in a train. Obviously, as you're aware, OrCam works completely offline and doesn't require any network connectivity. How handy you feel that will be when you get back to travelling?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think for me, the most useful things about the OrCam would be when I am out of the house. So I'm currently waiting for a guide dog, and that in itself would give me a lot more independence, but the dog can't read signs, contrary to popular belief.
Yeah.
But I think that, so currently I can't go out by myself unless it's, using train assistance and things like that. So, I think if I had a guide dog and I had an OrCam Read, I wouldn't need anyone to do anything for me. So that would be quite nice.
Yeah, and as Jason said, the range of where it can read text from, like even street corner signs and various things like that, would give you a lot more confidence moving forward. When you're out and about.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's a lovely device, and it probably explains, if you don't mind, Ian, that you are visually impaired as well.
Yeah.
So
what I like about it, when I work from home, which I do quite a bit, especially over COVID. Lots of people know that screen readers don't completely read everything that it sees on your screen, and you get a pop-up coming on your screen. For example, your antivirus maybe pops up, and what I like about it is that I've got it around my neck. I can easily just point it into my computer, click, and hear what the pop-up says. Before I dismiss it, and even for PDF files, it comes in very, very handy for reading a PDF file that pops up in your screen. Because as we know, screen readers don't entirely read everything that it sees.
Or they read it in a really backwards order.
All in the wrong order.
Yeah. You're like, well, I don't want to go through 17 menus. I just want to know the content.
Yeah, I've had similar things where it's helped people out on televisions as well, where it might pop up a message in the middle of the screen saying they need to retune. People can see there's a box there, but can't make out what it says. And of course, you can port the OrCam Read at the screen and it'll read it. And also, Ian wanted to ask you, because you're pretty famous to us, Chloe, actually, because you're in the Power 100.
Can you explain to people who don't know about the Power 100 what it's all about and how it all came around?
So the Power 100 is run by an organisation called Sure Trust, and they basically open up nominations, and the list is about creating the top 100 most influential disabled people in Britain, which is a crazy title to have, and to have 2 years running, which is even more insane. So it's broken down into education, public sector, there's loads of different sections, and then they do a top 10. So I get asked quite a bit, well, what number are you? They only grade the top 10, and then the rest is, open in the sections. And I think it's such a good resource for businesses, for companies, for anyone really, just to know what projects are doing. So we each get a page, like a profile of the work we're doing. And I found it's actually been useful for me to kind of see others on the list and be like, get in touch with them and kind of network in that way as well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you share the list with quite a number of influential people. You definitely. I mean, there is a lot of people out there on a day-to-day basis. We all notice out there, and the list is quite high profile. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's quite an achievement. Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
And of course, you were also nominated in the RNIB Awards as well, were you not?
Yeah, so that was for social media influencer of the year. I wouldn't say I'm an influencer as such, but no, it was great to be a finalist within that category. and also to be among one of 3 finalists. The 2 other people being really close friends of mine that I'd made like through my own sight loss journey. You know, so it was so lovely to be able to actually meet them for one, and just kind of really emphasize the work they've done and the work that we've all done together, really.
Yeah, it's quite an achievement, and I have to say, there's not a tweet or a post that you put up that I don't see it's been shared or retweeted or liked several times. So
Yeah.
You certainly deserve the accolades that come along your way. You certainly influence a lot of people, and I'm really happy to be a follower of yours.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great because I mean, well, that's probably the first time I found about you when you appeared on our Twitter feed. So, yeah, you're doing some good work. It's great. Keep it up.
You know, people say it's influencing. You know, I tend to just it's mainly ranting on Twitter about train issues with assistance, or people accusing me of not being blind because I'm reading my phone. You know, so
that's a hot topic.
Yeah.
Influential is I'd say I'm brutally honest about what it's like, and I think people relate to that and can probably learn quite a bit from that as well.
I wanted to just ask one more question, Chloe. We're talking about the OrCam Read and that. You know, just wanted to touch on. Have you tried or had a demo of the OrCam My Eye?
Sorry, can you say that?
Yeah, sorry, my dog's just gone mad, Chloe. It's one of the disadvantages of working from home.
I've got 2 dogs. I relate. It's fine.
Yours are better behaved than mine, then. I'm sorry about that, Ian.
That's okay, no problem.
Just bear with me a second. It'll be calm down in a second. Someone just walked in.
I hope you're not going to cut that out.
Yeah, second take.
I was just asking, you know, obviously you've tried the OrCam Read out, and I was just wondering, have you had a trial of the OrCam My Eye?
No, I've not. It's the OrCam Read is the first OrCam product I have actually tried. I knew about the OrCam Read, well, not the OrCam Read, sorry.
The My Eye, the one that goes on the glasses.
Yeah, I've seen that advertised, but never had a go. So no, I haven't tried the other product.
I'm quite sure if you speak nicely to our friends at Vision Aid, I'm quite sure they can give you one.
We'll sort you out, Chloe. You can try both then, and then see which one you like best.
Oh,
they're both good. It's just that some people prefer to wear it on your glasses because, of course, if you put on your glasses, it keeps your hands free.
Yeah.
So there's that advantage. So maybe you'd like to try them both. Thanks again, because I know it's sort of we're nearly at 5:45 in sort of the evening now, but it's the only time we could all make it together. So I really do appreciate you sort of spending the time with us.
Okay.
So, yeah, Chloe, thanks very much. I really appreciate it, and all the best moving forward. And we'll look forward to seeing how you get on with our OrCam products and your blogs, and see if there's any more accolades come your way.
Thank you. No, thanks for just allowing me to have a go with the product and to kind of speak with you guys as well.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Thank you, and I hope you get out to see your boyfriend and your friends soon.
Fingers crossed.